Hello and welcome to Money Matters, a program paid for by the Central Bank of Liberia to inform you on developments within the banking sector of the country, with a special focus on the CBL. The program is coming to you live on ELBC Radio 99.9 FM on the first and last Wednesdays of every month. I'm your presenter, Cyrus Wole Badio, welcoming you on behalf of the Board of Governors of the Central Bank of Liberia and the management and staff of the bank. We also want to welcome listeners who are following the program via more than 15 community radio stations throughout the country, and we like to say a big welcome to you all. Some of the stations that are relaying the program today are Radio Bomi, Radio Piso, Radio Bopolo, Rivers Broadcasting Service, Radio Banga, Radio Bazan, as well as Radio Smile. The Voice of Grand Crew, Radio Kakata, Voice of Plibo, the Voice of Rural Monserrado, Radio Kegema, Radio G, as well as the Voice of Sino, as well as DC 93.1 in Cestus, and the Voice of Plibo, Maryland County, are also relaying this broadcast. We also like to say a big welcome to all those who are following us on Facebook through LNTV Live. We are privileged to have members of the Technical Committee of the Currency Reform Program who have joined us this morning. We have in the persons of Mr. William Jrople. Mr. Jrople is the Director of Banking and a member of the Technical Committee on Currency Reform. Mr. Jrople, we also want to say good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Cyrus.
We also have here on the program Mr. Christopher Wallace, and a member of the Technical Committee on Currency Reform. Mr. Wallace is the Senior Director on Economic Policy in the Office of the Deputy Governor for Economic Policy. Mr. Wallace, again, we also want to say good morning and welcome to you.
Thank you, Mr. Badio.
All right, so before we get to you, let's listen to a message from our sponsor, and then we'll get back to you.
By the Central Bank of Liberia on the new family of the Liberian dollar currency. My people, my name is Rosalie Perkins from the Central Bank of Liberia. I came to say some things to you. The Central Bank of Liberia is pleased to present the new family of Liberian dollar currency. They also welcome the security features on the new family of Liberian dollar banknotes. That's why I'm here.
Mondola, thank you. Steady rest out here, my knees. Obe Kamo, why you not know a ordinary? I call all my people here for us to listen to the good news that you brought for us.
Your thank you, Bakamo.
Okay.
Your thank you for welcoming me. The central bank say I should come tell you that on the new Liberian dollar banknote, you can see the stars on the security thread as you tilt the note. You can feel the raised ink that can be found along both edges of the banknote, and the raised ink on the portraits of the banknote. You can view the coat of arms and the letters CBL when the note is held in the light.
Oh, Mondola, thank you again. I hear you saying a good thing about something there. You're talking about and we know for the Poli people and the Kibe people to get it, and they can be taken from them and put it on their money here.
What I would say is that the coat of arms that I talk about, that I'm armed to come take it and put on money, that the Liberian seal. If you put that money up like that in the light, you will see the Liberian seal. You will see the 3-letter CBL on it. You will see the stars on it. You will see the raised ink. You can feel it when you touch it on the edges and on the portrait. But in there. Besides the security features, you can also see the difference between the new and old banknote. The security feature is to protect our money so nobody can make counterfeit out of it. Now the difference between the new and the old banknote, the first one is rings around the head of the $20 bill, the $50 bill, and the $100. Then the 7 women that designed the Liberian flag on the $500 banknote, as Susanna Louise then. Then the 16 tribe of Liberia are on the front of the 1,000 banknote in Liberia.
Ma, thank you for the food you bring to us. But see, I was born before looking at it. I never see 1,000 that bring down before.
Level, and there's a Liberia getting better.
Yeah.
You never see it before, but then now, master, I never see it before, but they're bringing it now. The $1,000, they just introduced it for the first time. They start there again. They got coins, and the coins that the $5 and the $10.
My daughter, the thing my sister say that I brought a going on. Can I come in there again? But I won't know who they hear on the whole thing.
Thank you. A good question you asked. And you know the lawmaker then that we voted for in the house there, what can make law?
Yes.
That didn't want authorize the Central Bank of Liberia to print a new family of Liberian dollar currency to strengthen confidence in the Liberian dollar and address the demand for Liberian dollar in the country. That means when the Liberian people want the money, they should be able to get it. And you understand?
Yeah.
So they tell Central Bank to go and do it. Now, when the Central Bank agree now, then the president for inside, the lawmaker, hey inside, then the Central Bank, hey inside, everything. So everybody honor it for this money business.
Wow. I want to go. When new money will come out?
My dear, you know the $100 banknote was the first new family of Liberian dollar currency that was introduced in 2021. Ain't that CA?
Yes.
The other one then will come on this year. And then in 2024,
Liberia getting better.
you know Liberia getting better?
Yes.
Liberia rising.
Yes.
That prophecy, Liberia rising. For more information on the new currency or the banknote, you can visit the CBL website. When you know book and you can read it, right? Go to www.cbl.org.lr. If you want other information, you can go to the Central Bank and you get information. Message Central Bank of Liberia, produced by the Liberia Crusaders for Peace.
Once again, we would like to say welcome to Money Matters on your radio. We introduced earlier our guests on the program, Mr. Wallace and Mr. Droplet. Now, let's go straight into the main issue of focus on the program today. The issue of counterfeit. Last week, or just about that time, came news that a corporate had been arrested, bringing in a consignment of counterfeit Liberian dollar banknotes, something to the tune of more than $1 million Liberian dollars. It's our understanding that that corporate has been arrested and in police custody, has been charged and awaiting court trial. Now, my question is, how come there's this news about counterfeit when at least our belief was that there will be no counterfeit, or it will be a minimum issue. Tell us what has happened. Any one of you can take on the question.
Yes, okay, thank you, Cyrus. I think I was totally involved in the counterfeit issue because the corporate was brought to the Central Bank of Liberia,
Okay.
and they brought him straight to the banking department, so I was totally involved. But first of all, I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to LRA and the folks at the RIA who were very vigilant enough to be able to arrest, the two of them. In fact, there are two persons. The first person is the guy who brought the 1.3 million, and the second person brought $29,200 Liberian dollars. So I came in contact with them, and because the LRA folks and the security wanted to be sure that the money was truly counterfeit, so they had to bring it to the CBL to run our test.
Okay.
So yes, the two fellows that brought the money, they were actually counterfeit. I have sample here of the banknote they brought, the 100 and the 500, and I have the actual 500 and the actual real 100 here with me that I'm going to display. For people who are watching TV to see the difference between the two money that we have here. Okay, so yes, the thing is that people will try to frustrate the efforts of the Central Bank of Liberia by duplicating the banknotes. Counterfeiting is just photocopying banknotes. Okay, the subscript that is used to print banknote is totally different from ordinary paper. That somebody will use to photocopy. A4, people that will use to just photocopy the banknote. In this subscript, there are security features that they cannot counterfeit, that they cannot reproduce, that they cannot photocopy. So here, I will try to display. There is a UV light that I brought with me here. This UV light is able to detect the features in this, 500, for instance. So here we have the display. Once you point out the UV light on you see a star in the 500. With the 500 in the star here that you see, you can see from the face of it. Okay. So we're able to display that in here. You cannot see anything here. In
the counterfeit.
Yeah, in the counterfeit, you can see anything here when you move the UV light along this. But like I said, in here you can see that you have the star with 500 in here. This is one screen feature that we have in this 500. Along this too, there is a star here. When you remove the light, the star becomes blue. If you point the light there, you see that the star is green, right?
Okay.
You can see that on the counterfeit. And in here, there are fibers all over here. The green and blue things you see here, they are all fibers built in this $500 banknote. In the counterfeit banknote, this is a counterfeit banknote. You can see any of these. Okay? This star still remain blue, as you can see here, still remain blue. So there is no way that anyone will counterfeit and reproduce exactly what we have here as our Liberian banknote. So the Liberian banknote is actually protected. And good for us, what the CBL communication team have been doing, have been also helping. Because going around, the nation and providing the education to our people to determine, a fake banknote from an actual banknote. One is in 100, for instance. If you put here, when you show the 100 up here to the light, there is the coat of arms that we call the seal in here, at the window end here. This is the window. So start in the window, you see the seal here in the window. And under that seal, there's a CBL, what we call the electrotype is here. This electrotype is built in the subscript. So no one can reproduce this electrotype. So these are few of the things that we want to display to the public. So once you receive, the first thing is that when you feel the banknote, you know that it's pure paper as compared to this substrate that I'm holding in my hand and shaking here. If you try that, what kind of feel with here? So I think the major thing here that I want to explain to the public is that your banknote is protected. There are enough security features on the banknote that no one can reproduce except the printer. So we want to assure the public that there will be no way that anyone will try to actually reproduce exactly what we have printed. So your banknote, they are all protected, have enough security features that no one can counterfeit.
The banks have all of these devices to easily detect counterfeit. How about the ordinary man or woman?
So the ordinary man and woman, that is why we have this robust communication strategy and outreach program throughout the length and breadth of Liberia. So the note that Mr. Chirople just displayed, these bank notes, if you touch the edges of it, you will feel a raised ink. There are lines there, 2 lines in a pair of 2. On the $20, you will see 3 of the pairs.
Can you show that to our camera for those of who are on Facebook?
Okay. On the $20, you will see 3 of the pairs. On the on the $50, you will see 4. On the $100, you will see 5. So anyone who counterfeits this money, you will only see the line, but if you feel it just by the texture of it, you will know that it is not, it's not money, because there's no raised ink. So this counterfeit, if you give it to our visually impaired, comrades,
There's a
if you-
blind.
Yeah,
it's for the blind. That's it, the blind people. If you give it to them, if you give them the counterfeit, they will tell you this is not money. If you give them this, one that CBL has produced, they will be able to determine the denomination, because these bills that you see on the side is meant for the blind, for them to know the counterfeit from the real money. And then this unscrupulous act, there's no way we can curtail it. That is why the central bank is working with the joint security, with immigration, and also sensitizing all of the security forces so that they get to know the banknotes, and at the point of entry in this country, they can aid us to arrest it. Once they arrest it and bring it to the central bank also assists, because we don't have persecutory power to persecute anyone. It is the state, because the currency here belongs to the state, but it has been authorized. Central bank has been authorized to produce it. So central bank put in the feature. So to authenticate and also to establish the prima facie evidence, it is the central bank that you take it to determine whether the banknote is a counterfeit or it is not a counterfeit. So once it is proven, an authorized officer of the central bank will certificate those banknotes that are brought, for inspection, and hand it over to the security forces. And that's what the central bank has been doing. And then the prosecution kick off from there, through the justice ministry.
And Cyrus, before I forget, so the banknotes were actually perforated. I mean, that's one of the powers that the CBA has.
You mean the counterfeit
banknotes?
banknotes?
Yeah, they were actually perforated before we hand it over to the security. Also here, I need to clarify this so that the public know, because you have some statesmen who are misleading the public, and we have to make sure that we provide clarity today. So it's good that we're able to educate the journalists, that attended the training at the Central Bank of Liberia. So some of them are actually sophisticated. So no one dare go to the station to mislead them. So I know that OKFM, the fellow from OKFM was able to engage the statesmen, heads on that, we were told that XYZ is on a banknote. So I don't know how the banknote can be reproduced. And what surprised me is for a statement to say that counterfeiter needs specimen banknote to reproduce, the banknote of any country. No. The specimen banknote are in the possession of the Central Bank of Liberia. We have specimen banknote to do our proving of the banknote, to be sure that all the security features that we requested, all the specifications, are actually aligned within the original banknote. So that is something that I need to clarify. They don't need specimen banknote. They need the actual banknote, to reproduce any other, country banknote. The second thing is that he said that there's no money. The statesman said that there's no money. The money is not out yet. How can the people reproduce the money? How can they counterfeit the money? No. Like you heard, through the advertisement, this $100 banknote was brought in to 2021. In 2021 November, we brought in the first $4 billion. And in February of 2022, we brought a second $4 billion. So we already had $100 in circulation. Is this $100 the new $100 that what they actually counterfeited? Now, the other money they use, is this all $500? Although we are changing the feature.
So this is not the new series of banknotes that have been brought in, like especially the $500.
Yes, the 500, because the 100 already in circulation.
Yeah.
This was the first one we introduced. But the 500 is the old series that they use here to photocopy. So please let us, as government official, as stakeholder, let's make sure that we help the government, we help the CBL, to provide, information to the public that will not be misleading.
So what is the CBL recommending in the wake of this counterfeiting, the issue of counterfeiting? What is the central bank recommending?
So the central bank, first,
Especially for the end users.
yeah, for the end user, that is why we are going around educating people on the features of the banknote, how you can easily detect counterfeit. So it is everyone's business because no economic agent will want to lose the value of their labor. And the central bank also is keen on ensuring that everyone gets the just benefit of their earned labor. So that is why we are rolling out our communication strategy, and it calls for a robust citizen action that everyone should be a whistleblower to the Central Bank of Liberia. That once you see anybody with these counterfeits, be able to, to report it to the security forces so that the prosecution can start from there. And we trace the source of these counterfeits.
Yes. In addition to that, Saros, it's good that my colleague Wallace is talking in terms of whistleblowing. So we had the experience 2 weeks ago from Stella Maris. So there were some folks that carried counterfeit banknote at Stella Maris and were caught. So we had to go there, to actually establish, the banknote were counterfeit. So immediately there, we had to perforate those banknotes. So yes, I mean, there are people who are we want to actually frustrate the effort of the Central Bank of Liberia and this government. But they won't actually succeed because we have protected the banknotes so much so that, the ordinary, citizen can identify the counterfeit banknote just by feeding the banknote, like Wally said. So you have the ties, for the blind that Wally just demonstrated. So for every banknote, the number, will increase as the denomination, the bigger denomination, we have enough, of the ties, on the side of the banknote here, that what it's talking about. So once you feed there, you should be able to feed the title on the side here. But for the counterfeit banknote, it will be very smooth. So that just the simple difference that we can provide to the public. And the second thing is that just raise it up. I mean, I was just sharing a joke during the destruction on Saturday. I stopped somewhere at Omega and I changed money. So right in front of the money change, I try to flip the new banknote up. And you're telling me, say, Brabi, we ourselves here will know the counterfeit. So this, I mean, and for me, I was proud, that the ordinary citizens themselves are involved into identifying the actual banknote from the counterfeit banknote.
One of the ways you said that the CBL is helping to deter counterfeiting, or for people to know what are the counterfeits, is this rigorous public engagement campaign. Mr. Wallace, how well is that going?
Well, it is well on course. We did almost the whole of Monserrado. We've gone to Bomi. We've gone to Magibi. We went to Grand Bassa. Currently, there is a team, headed by Mr. Musa Kamara in Grand Cape Mount County. From Grand Cape Mount, by next week, we'll be doing Nimba. From Nimba, then the week after, we'll be doing Bapolu. Because of the challenge, of the infrastructure in the southeast, so we are awaiting, the dry season. So the second round of the robust communication, strategy rollout and awareness program will kick off in December for the southeast. So all of those places will be covered. We intend to go in every nook and corner of this, of this country, and that is why the central bank has come out to say that, look, this process is going to be a gradual process, so that nobody, should rush with it. It's going to be a gradual process because we know that there are other fraudsters, that may come about in the system, and we want to make sure that indeed those fraudsters and fraudulent individuals are caught, or even their produce are ruled out of the system.
And so, Mr. Badio, so we also have flyers, we have posters. They are erecting bay poles all over the major cities in the country, just to provide enough education to our people.
Mr. William Grant Jope is the Director of Banking at the Central Bank of Liberia and also a member of the Technical Committee on Currency Reform, as well as Mr. Christopher Wallace. Mr. Wallace is a Senior Director on Economic Policy in the Office of the Deputy Governor for Economic Policy. They are our guests today on Money Matters here on your radio. And this program is being relayed on Radio Bomi, Radio Piso, Radio Bopulu, Riverside Broadcasting Corporation, Radio Banga, Radio Bezon, as well as Radio Smile. The Voice of Grand Crew, Radio Kakata, Voice of Plebo, Voice of Radio, Voice of Rural Monserrato, Radio Kegema, Radio G, The Voice of Sino, DCN 91.3 Ancestors, The Voice of Plebo, are also relaying this broadcast. There are also other community radio stations relaying this broadcast. If we didn't mention your name, definitely we also welcome your partnership and the collaboration. And this program, for those of you who are into Facebook, is on LNTV Liberia Live. Money Matters is produced by the Central Bank of Liberia in collaboration with the Liberia Broadcasting System. We are here on the first and last Wednesdays of every month. We will be opening the lines so that you can interact with Mr. Joplin and Mr. Wallace. The numbers are 0888-861-387, 0888-861-387, 0776-278-255, 0776-278-255. Before we go to the telephone, let's see whether we can get a word from our sponsor, telling you all about the new currency that is in town.
Madabira people, you know that the national legislature in May 2021 that the central bank of Dabira to bring new Dabira money to make sure enough money in the country. The new $100 Dabira money was the first of the new family of Dabira money that they bring to show in 2021. While the other money, the $5, the $10, the $20, the $50, the $500, and the $1,000 Dabira money, they will hand over or bring it into 2022. And the bottom one, they will put it outside in 2024. And let me remind y'all, no money coming outside in 2023. The Central Bank of Dabira is pleased to tell you or show you the new family of the new Dabira money. Here are the things that own the new family of Dabira money that you need to know so nobody can give you false money. Number 5, you will see plenty of small stars every time you twist the money. On the line, you will see in the money. Number 2, you will feel small pink on the top and bottom of the money. When you rub your finger around the end of the money, you will feel something there. Even on the picture, where on the money, you will feel small pink on it. Number 10, you will see the sign of the country, the bureau, and the CBL letter on the money. When you hold it in the light or when you turn it to the sun, beside the new thing they put on the new money to protect it, you can see the difference between the new money and the old money. All the people who here on the $20, $50, and $100, they get ring on their head. Number 2, the 7 women who designed the Dabira flag that take on the $500 Dabira money. Number 10, you will see the sign of the 16 tribe, the travel march, on the front of the $1,000 Dabira money and the capital building on the back of the $1,000 Dabira money. Remember now that the first time $1,000 Dabira money will be in the country. Number 4, now that the old coins now, the new $5 and $10 coin are small dog, they lighter and easier to carry. It can't bust back you. Number 5, the $5 and $10 coin, you will see sign underneath the picture on the front of the coin when you twist the $5 and $10 coin. Number 6, you will also see the stars underneath the picture on the front of the coin when you twist the $5 and $10 coin. For more information on the new Dabira money, please visit the CBL website. So www.cbl.org.ro. New Dabira money, same value.
Is on Money Matters here on your radio. And the lines are now open so you can talk to Mr. Joplin, Mr. Wallace. The numbers again are 0888-861-387, 0888-861-387, 0776-278-255, 0776-278-255. Let's take our first call and from this listener. Hello, this is Money Matters.
Yes, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, welcome, sir.
This is Edwin Gonto calling from Buffalo County.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for the awareness thus far. We are so happy to see that money being changed gradually. I tell the management of Central Bank, thank you so much for that initiative.
Thank you.
I had a problem there with the $20 being printed newly.
Okay.
Because usually we have the money that was printed by Ellen government, the money was not equal and it was still problem. So tomorrow when I expect it for the new money that coming first, another one to be short again, not eating with the other money. So I had a still problem with the $20 being short again, not eating with the other denomination. I don't know why they decided to do that same thing, and they saw that there was a problem in packaging the money when it comes to uniformity and the proper care.
Thank you very much. Do we have another caller? Well, as we await the call, maybe you can respond.
Yes,
Mr. Jumper.
So I need to address that quickly. All right. So for all of the banknotes, we have tolerance level. Okay, I mean it's just part of security, features. So we have tolerance level for all the banknotes. So the 20, tolerance level is different from the 50 and the 100, as well as the 500 and the 1,000. So please, that is one way that you can distinguish, especially for the blind people, beside what we call the tie-ties, that we call the lines that are on the both edges of the banknotes. They can actually identify 20s from 50 by just aligning them. Okay, so please, that is just something that we captured ourselves, and we needed to have it done that way because of the tolerance level.
Okay, let's go back to the telephone line. Hello, this is Money Matters.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Bobby Addison calling from the capital meeting. Call to acknowledge you as the voice of hope and not the voice of people as doing the relay.
Okay, thank you very much for the correction. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's come to this caller. Hello, this is Money Matters.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, this is Ezra Member calling you from Lofa County to be specific for your district 1.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my question do go to Mr. Wall and you get this morning for your relay radio you're calling like Lofa County is not far. That is Radio Makona who relay ELBC every day. Now when it comes to the money issue, my question do go to the central bank.
It's
Really,
thank you very much. When I will reach in Lofa County, Foya specifically. Hello, this is Money Matters. Morning. Hold on, let's try to adjust your sound. Hold on, please. Hello? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, that property is good number 4704. My name is Bengali Maswak.
Okay.
Yeah, let me first say thank you to the people guests. But the people, the counterfeit of the money, I believe that they have to do because, to counterfeit money is an easy people, especially in our days, in United Dollars. The counterfeit there. So when it comes to our life, even currency, I think they have to get it for better so that they can stop it. Those people that eat it, people who are counterfeit. Quickly, before I get back to that, I want you to get the job in when the point was starting the point because we want to see the point. Every time we hear about the point will come, but we can't see it. So let it please tell me, or they tell it like people when the point will come on the market. Thank you so very much for having me.
Thank you very much. Hello, this is Money Matters. Let's take another caller. Hello, this is Money Matters. Hello, good morning, Money Matters. I know we've, let me see, it looks like we have, okay, let me see whether this caller has been linked. Hello?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
My name is
Yokono DK Flomo. I call from Directing District number 1, Bon County.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. My question this morning. The bank note, the $100 bank note was introduced 2021. And up to now, we're still seeing the old bank notes. We are using all and it's giving tough time. What is the problem? Why the bank note can't finish and we just continue with the new ones? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's see another caller. Hello, this is Money Matters.
Good morning. My name is Philip Ejidekwa. I joined the composition from Bangashi, Bon County.
Welcome, Philip.
Yeah, the first of all, I appreciate the central bank.
Did we lose him? Oh, we've lost him. Let's see whether there's another caller. Hello, Money Matters.
Okay, good morning. This is Stevie S.A. Young, and I joined your conversation from G to this fish and filling. Thank you very much for the education. At least we know the security feature on our news. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, at least we know the Liberian bank know the security feature. But my question is, the education that you are giving us. You know, other people, other Liberians don't have the opportunity to monitor your platform, and they don't have the opportunity to monitor radio and other stuff. So what are the mechanisms are you putting in place, for the education to reach them?
Thank you very much. Hello, this is Money Matters. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. If you don't stop listening to your radio, we may have to let you go.
Yes, sir. I'm okay. I'm okay now. Good morning.
Look, I don't have much time to waste. Let's go to the Facebook page, and this writer says, "Thanks so much, CBL Money Matters team, for making us to know the exact security features on the original Liberian banknote. But my question is, how can others who do not have the opportunity to monitor this platform get the education?" This other writer says, there's Zaya Nyepan, he says, Radio G is connected. Thanks, Radio G. And Bobby Toga says, "Hi, sir. I really want to know when we will start using the $5 and $10 or coins." Another one from Moses Baluma says, "A good conscience is not a condition to be tolerated. It is a sickness to be corrected." What is all the philosophy for me? Anyway, let's go to perhaps take one or two more calls, and then we'll go to Mr. Drople and Wallace for their responses. Hello, this is Money Matters.
Yeah, good morning. How are you doing today?
Well, fine. And you?
Thanks so much to the few guests. I'm from Massachusetts. We're calling from Panama.
You are live on the radio.
Yeah, thank you so much this morning for the presentation and for the enlightenment of the multiply for the market. At least we are aware that how it looks like.
Thank you.
My concern is what is really CBL plan regarding the CBL hub that have been built in Manda. And we are told that when the open that is the cost of the help to the exchange of the master then in an area. So I don't know what is the plan for CBL to be open to open this hub that just been built in Manda.
Okay. Well, I think maybe let's just squeeze in one more call, and then we can go to Mr. Drople and Wallace. Hello, this is Money Matters.
Yeah, thank you. Morning to the EFPC family.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, this is Franco Harris. Thank you for the platform. But my concern having to do this a national issue. Every time we bring money in the country, the security, going across the country, making possible. I think we need to put some mechanisms in place that if the money comes in the country, anybody will be caught, in the act of counterfeiting of money. So going to jail will solve the problem. And we put some measure into place that because the money enter the country, it begin legitimate. Pass through the legal process when enter the country, it begin legitimate. So the education going across the country, I feel that waste of government funding, that waste of something. The money already been approved by national government come in the country. Why you doing all the publicity? I don't see it. No me. So Paul McKenna is in the place. If criminal will go, kind of thing, the pocket money is a crime under the law. That will be prosecuted for it, going to jail. That's it, Anthony. You put 1 or 2 points on firing squad, trust me.
No, we've passed firing squad days, but thanks very much for your comments. Let's go back now.
Okay,
I don't think you agree with that.
No.
No.
Okay, Mr. Wallace, Robin will now respond.
Yeah, so thank you. I think one of the grave concern is how do we reach out to people who don't listen to radio and don't have the opportunity to listen to this platform. And that is why we have a robust communication strategy. Jingles are being developed also that will be played in the local vernacular for everyone who is in Liberia. In your various dialects, you have the jingles play there so that you know your money. So we have an outreach program throughout. We have town hall meetings. We also go on the local radio stations, in every county that we enter in. So everybody, we can assure you, everybody, the flyers, even your kids that you are sending to school, we educate them to the extent that they will let you know about the features on the new money. We began to go to schools. If you notice, in the Monrovia area, at various schools, high schools and elementary schools, you can see our posters and things there. It's just that we don't want to disrupt their classes, the educational system by just calling them out. But those features are being explained to them, and their instructors and principals have become the ambassadors of the central bank, explaining to them the new features of the money. For the coins are in country. We are doing our verification process, and you will soon see the coin on the market. What you are experiencing now is that we heard news that other people said that central bank is dumping money on the market. No, we only exchange. So whatsoever you gave us, we gave it. Whatsoever the bank gave to us as old bank notes, we gave them the new bank notes. So there's no inflation, that you're going to experience. It's just that people have that euphoria of price pass through. Everybody want the new bank notes, so they may want to hike the price, which of course the central bank is totally against, and we're not going to encourage it, and people are going to be penalized.
So you just mentioned something about the coins. There's been a lot of concerns about the coins. You said the coins are in country.
Yeah, the coins are in country.
Okay.
The coins are in country, but once the monies that we call for, come in country, we have to verify. We have to validate that the quantity that we wanted is what actually we got, and we have to verify that whatsoever specification we call for, all those specifications have been met, and then before we can start the infusion process of the coins. We did that with the 20 and the 50s that just came. We verified them before they came, before we started the infusion. And one caller also expressed the concern about the 20 being shorter and that of the than that of the other banknotes. The 20 is the lowest denomination in the banknote series that we have, the paper banknote series that we have. So therefore, it is in its own category. But the hundreds, the 50s, the 500, and the 1,000 are in a different category. So all of them have equal tolerance level.
Yep.
So that is the reason why. And if you look at the coins too, you cannot take the $10 coin and the $5 coins to be of the same size. No, that creates confusion for the population that is not literate, because they will not be able to determine which one is the $5 and the $10. So there's a lot of caution input into making this coin and then this new family of banknotes. We are very meticulous in what we are doing, and little things that we maybe spark controversy, we try to do away with them. We can assure you that all of what we did, there were a lot of actions that went into it, a lot of thinking that went into it, so that our fraudster do not easily dupe our citizen.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Droplet.
Yeah,
So can we safely say that sometime in November we should see the coins being infused into the banking sector.
Definitely. Sarah. So I just wanted to buttress Mr. Wallace on the issue of the validation. The essence of the validation is to determine if there are defects, banknotes or coins. So you have to verify, the banknotes. You have to verify the coins. You have to validate them. You got to be sure that you have all of the specification that you requested. So I just also wanted to throw light on the issue of the old banknotes being used side by side with the new banknotes. So the process, we've been seeing this over and over, it will continue. But gradually, the $100 banknote, the old $100 banknote will disappear from the market. We are doing, the instruction as we collect from the commercial banks. We sort out the most, mutilated banknote, the worst of them, and we try to do destruction. So we are not just giving out banknote, and thanks, to the president for incorporating one of those fellow who are just being on radio stations, criticizing the central bank for he will talk about rice business when it comes to rice, when it comes to money business, he talk about money. And now that he part of the rice committee, we want to see how effective, that will be. Because the thing is, people who don't have this expertise are the people who will take on radio stations, talk shows and then just discuss issues. So we have our plan. We are working along with the IMF. We have a ceiling, in terms of our infusion strategy. So we are not just giving money out. We are giving money, we are just infusing through the commercial banks. And it's based on the commercial bank reserve requirement that we give them funds. So please, we are monitoring, the money we give out and the money that we are, redeeming from the market. Also for the hub. So the CBL, we are working on that. We are sure, very certain, that by next month, November, the hub will be functional because it is just one of the regions that we're going to use for the currency reform. So please, folks in Bong, please relax. The hub will be functional in the next few days. When the coins arrive, we're working on that. We are sure of getting that ready, in time.
I think I addressed the LOFA issue.
The issue of
LOFA.
Yes.
So
LOFA.
there's a fellow that called that when will we reach LOFA?
Yeah.
So it is the LOFA and the southeast. We know that there is a challenge there, the road. So we are awaiting the dry season for us to reach LOFA. So sooner or later in December we'll be reaching LOFA. We are going through Afriland's Bank, because they have RCFRs there, that is Rural Community Financing Institution that are there. Currently, as we speak, the central bank is conducting a workshop, alerting them on the security features of the banknotes, because we know that there are banks, in other areas of the country there are no banks there, but the Rural Community Financing Institution, credit unions, and village saving loan schemes, they are all in there conducting financial business there. So we are having a workshop for them, letting them on the security features so that they can be able to detect counterfeit. So LOFA and the southeast will be the next roll out plan for them in December. It begins from December and maybe up to March of next year of 2023. We'll reach them.
Okay, done. Not much more time. Maybe a second, Mr. Droppe, is something you wanted to say that you didn't say? If not, then we can just start sending our compliments to the collaborating radio stations.
No, so again, we want to extend our thanks and appreciation to the security sector. They have been doing extremely well. The Liberian Revenue Authority as well. They're also helping, because as far as you're aware that LRA is responsible to collect government revenue, and that government revenue that they collect is actually deposited with the Central Bank of Liberia. So we are working hand in hand. So we want them to be very much, vigilant in what they do at the port of entry, to curtail this issue of counterfeiting our banknotes and importing counterfeit banknotes into the country. We also want to commend the Justice Ministries for their support to the Central Bank during our destruction process. They are also, and the AFL, they also been supporting us in those processes to ensure that we are not disturbed when we are doing destruction. That is helping us a lot. And also the commercial banks for the work that they do. We want to appreciate them. Let them make sure that they put everything in place. We have these UV lights that we expect all commercial banks to also have. They are not as expensive.
Wrap it up. Time is the old
much.
enemy. William Grant Dropley, Director of Banking and a member of the TCCR, and Mr. Wallace, Christopher Wallace of the Central Bank of Liberia. Gentlemen, I'd like to say thank you very much for joining us on Money Matters. We also like to say a big thank you to all the collaborating radio stations in throughout the political length and breadth of this country. Radio Bomi, Radio Piso, Radio Bopolo, Riverside Broadcasting Service, Radio Banga, Radio Bezon, as well as Radio Smile. The Voice of Grand Crew also relayed this broadcast. Radio Kakata, the Voice of Plebo, Voice of Rural Monserrado, Radio Kagema, Voice of River G, or Radio G, and the Voice of Sino. We also like to say a big thank you to DCN 91.3 Ancestors, the Voice of Hope in Plebo.